Hello YouTube family, welcome to my channel. So the new Assassin's Creed game was just announced today. It's called, or I guess they gave a reveal. It was a cinematic reveal, and it is going to be based in Japan. I think we already knew this a little while ago. It's called Assassin's Creed Shadows, and as we can see here, I'm looking at screen time. It says Ubi-Soft has confirmed the male protagonist in Assassin's Creed Shadows is Yasuke, the first black samurai. Now, a lot of people were going crazy over this. Now, me personally, I kind of don't care, but yeah, I don't think he was an actual samurai. I think he was what they called a retainer, or like a squire for the samurai, or at least that's what they think he was. He was brought over, I believe, by Dutch slave traders, and he was an actual slave. So I don't think he ever became a samurai. I mean, you think of Japan, I'm thinking of a very imperialistic, nationalistic country. I mean, they still are very nationalistic to this day. And I mean, I'm sure it was like 1,000 times worse back in the day. But I have seen a lot of commotion going on with this, and I mean, people bringing up things like, if you're mad at this, you should be mad at the movies like The Last Samurai that starred Tom Cruise. Well, the difference is Yasuke is based on folklore. It's based on tellings of things that happened hundreds of years ago. And I would say it's more myth than actual history. But again, a lot of people don't know what happened to Yusuke. They just know that he was, again, the big thing was he was brought in from the Dutch slave trade. After that, it's pretty much all folklore from there. So, people want to believe he was the first samurai. I seriously doubt it because of Japan. Now, when it comes to The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, first of all, this is from the director's mouth. The Last Samurai. Samurai is actual plural. That means the group of men who fought. If you've seen the movie, and this is some spoilers here, I'll just say if you haven't seen the movie. But basically, the Last Samurai is plural. So it basically means the men, the samurai, who were the samurai of the village who fought in the movie against the moderate imperialistic Japan army. So, and it is based on actual history. Of course, they American it up. It is an American movie. Instead of basically the real story is, instead of an American soldier, which is what Tom Cruise plays, who goes there and trains the Japanese army to fight against the shogun samurai. It was actually based on a French, or I'm sorry, the story the history part of it is actually a French officer who goes there with French military, and they train the Japanese moderate imperialistic military to fight against the shogun samurai. And it was more or less like almost like a civil war. It was actually, if you want to look it up, it's actually pretty cool. It's called the Boshin War. It lasted a little over a year, like about a year and 5 months or so. But basically, it was basically old versus new. Japan at that time was going more moderate, and the French, they were basically asking anything Western to come in to help, and the French obliged. They came in, and just, from what I've read, the actual French officer actually did switch sides. He did go and fight with the samurai. The samurai obviously lost, and I believe he had to escape back to France. Otherwise, they probably would have hung him, or did worse. But and again, there's the main two characters in that movie was the Tom Cruise character, and then there was this the samurai leader Katsumoto, I think is his name. And those two men were actually, there was two men that lived that they based The Last Samurai on. That was the historical facts. That's kind of the difference here. Like I said, Yusuke's folklore, that was more realistic. Of course, they Hollywooded up. They actually added a love story I mean, they made it look like at the end of the movie, you know, Tom Cruise was allowed to actually stay in Japan and be a mentor to the emperor. Yeah, I don't think that would have happened. But it was actually a really good movie, and I do recommend it if anybody ever wants to go watch it. But yeah, there is some historical backing about that movie. It's just they did change it up for obvious reasons. Um, but yeah, I don't have an issue with this. Again, Assassin's Creed games, it's a game, it's fiction. The time period I think is more or less like an Assassin's Creed game is the backdrop for everything. I know they did. I don't think any Assassin's Creed game was based on an actual person. I think every person in Assassin's Creed, aside from some of the NPCs, were like the people you could play were just they were not how do I put it? They were not historical figures. So I will say this: this being based in Japan, I don't know. To me, I think it would have been cooler if they would have. I mean, there's so many Japanese Japanese samurai and ninjas and names and everything else in the lore of Japan and the history of Japan. It would have been cooler, I think, if they would have picked someone like that, used an actual historical character that was actually like an actual samurai, that we know he was a samurai, that we know that he, or maybe even one of the emperors who, again, I don't know the history of Japan too much. I'm sorry, I just don't. Aside from a few things here and there that I've done research on, but that would have been, I think that would have been actually cooler. That's just me. But again, I don't, this is going to be a fictional game. The world Japan's pretty cool. It's not a fictional world, obviously, but definitely a fictional game. And right now, it's like people are going crazy. people, are, people are going. I mean, it's both ways too. It's like people are just, they're calling each other the isms and the phobias, and I mean, goodness gracious, guys, it is a video game. But anyway, I do believe, my personal opinion, that I think if they would have used a historical figure, someone who's actually, did what they did, I think that'd have been cooler. But again, this is folklore, and, there's no problem with the folklore here. So I don't, I think it's actually going to be a cool, it looks good. I mean, the cinematics always look good of Assassin's Creed. They always make it look really good. So it'll be, the gameplay will be key. The story will be key. I think the world's going to look beautiful. I think like every Assassin's Creed game, the world looks really good. But yeah. And another thing too, they announced this too as well. Whoops, what is this? Anyway, they announced this as well. I guess they won't let me click on it. There's this collector's edition here that looks really cool. I like the statue, and then there's the steel book, or the steel case. This looks pretty cool. This actually looks really good. Looks like something that would be worth actually getting for. I mean, I love the way this looks. The ground. It looks like they really did a lot of detail with this. So this is actually available now. I believe it is at GameStop. I think so. All the realtors like Walmart, Target. Well, this might be Walmart, Best Buy, GameStop. I think they all have a different thing. This is the GameStop one. This one here. It is pricey. It is about $270. I think is what they said it was. $280. It is pricey, but this looks absolutely amazing. I like the way this looks. This looks cool. Of course, the other character. Of course, they're complaining about too because she's female. I don't think they were going to have two males in the game anyway. But anyway, she's a ninja and he is a samurai. So yeah, so it's so they're going that route. But anyway, yeah, if you're interested in this, I believe this is the GameStop one, and it is up for pre-order right now. And I really do like the look at this. I might have to buy this. I don't know. We'll see. These pre-orders a lot of times go very quickly, so if you do want this is something that, if you think this looks good, you can just look it up. Just look up Assassin's Creed Shadows Collector's Edition, and you'll find it. You'll be able to get a little better picture than this. But yeah, I think the game looks really good. But then again, like I said, Ubi-Soft games to me always look really good. The cinematics always look great. But then, of course, you actually play the game. Sometimes the gameplay is a little off. Sometimes the stories don't make it in all the sense. So there's that. But I don't know. I think the game is going to look pretty good. But anyway, that's all I got for now, guys. And leave your thoughts in the comments. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later. And have a blessed day. Keep gaming. Peace.